Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. Over there is Diamond Dave Damone. This is the Appleton Oak. That's the answer. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we're getting back into Peaky Blinders. This is season 5, episode 3. This season has been absolutely incredible so far. I can't believe what's happened. I just can't wait to get back into it.
I am just ready, willing, and able to see how Mr. Gold comes back after what happened to his son, so let's just see what he can do.
Yeah, we've had a lot of emotionally tense episodes throughout this entire series, but I honestly feel like episode 2 is right at the top of the list as far as the shows that really got you in the gut and kept you on the edge of your seat. So I'm super excited to see how they follow up that one.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to follow up from the last one. The intensity, everything about that episode just kept you on the edge, at least for me. I'm not going to use that episode to judge the following ones, but that last one was absolute top tier. Can't wait to see how they're going to follow up. Let's go!
Hey, Steve, can I get a water?
Coming right up. Got a fresh pack right down here. Oh, my back. Oh.
Uh-oh. Looks like Steve's back just called it quits.
Some help would be good right about now.
Yeah, you're gonna need some help with that, Steve. Your injury could be worth millions. You should consider calling Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm.
With more than 1,000 lawyers and 4,000 case staff ready to fight for you if you become their client.
But Steve's worried. He doesn't have the cash to pay for expensive legal fees.
Worry no more. Morgan & Morgan will fight for every penny you deserve. And guess what? The fee is absolutely free. Unless you win. But Steve doesn't want to sue his boss, even though he hasn't gotten his surgery bills covered in the last 6 months. Steve, when you sue for an injury, you're not suing your boss. You're suing the insurance company. So if you've been a victim in a workplace injury or any other personal injury, you can hit the link in the description to get Morgan & Morgan to fight for you. Steve did, and now he's back in the game.
Let us pray.
Oh, the music. Oh, boy.
Oh,
St. Hilda's Orphanage.
Birmingham.
Our Father,
What a
who art
shot.
in heaven.
The cinematography is just wild. Oh, the doors.
For thine is the kingdom, power, and
Just gonna have a heater right in.
Should we be paying attention to that cough? Why would they just show it?
Yeah.
You wanted to speak to us, Mr. Shelby?
Yeah.
All of us?
Yeah.
At 6:30 in the morning.
Yes.
We don't smoke in here,
Well, I do.
nor do we use language.
Nor do we find fault in the innocent. Yet you do.
Oh, get him there, Paul.
Mr. Shelby, your own sins are legend.
Our sins. Against the beating of children with bricks and houses. Our sins.
Oh.
And we're getting deep.
Our sins.
Raise day.
I do not see how.
Oh.
Put them on your face, or it'll be your eyes that are broken. Please don't imagine that I won't use this minute to do it, or that I am afraid of your prayers or your crosses.
Holy shit, guys.
We're in like the first 3 minutes and it's already off into a huge deep end of the pool.
Well, it's just crazy. Like, where's all this coming from?
All children to be taken into our own institutions.
You have no say in where the children.
If I come for you, and I still might yet decide to come for you, I will wear high heels so you can hear my approach on the cobblestones and have time to repent.
Ice cold.
You listen for my footstep.
Oh.
That was just
I know I just said something about top in the last episode, but that's got to be the best opening they've delivered.
It was just so wild because it was so unexpected.
Completely
all of a sudden we're in an
unexpected.
orphanage. Like, what's going on?
Happy birthday, Paul.
You grow grand in the whole shit, Paul.
Golly, awesome beard, eh?
Oh, Curly.
So not to do anything rash. And take with you the heartfelt condolences of the whole family.
Why me?
Because Abbot Armagol is in love with you. He even got an haircut. And the smell of your perfume might help ease his pain.
Tommy, I'm 45 years old today.
45 years old and still breaking hearts, eh?
Yeah, it's a Polly.
Here's the head Polly.
They, Paul.
Curly.
Bonnie Gold's soul to heaven. Isaiah fetches boxing gloves from the gym to burn with his body. Michael, turn the Bentley around. We're trying to catch. And don't forget to wipe that shit off your shoes, eh?
It's the second time.
You're gonna keep pushing them, but
Well, remember, Arthur did say we're going to treat you pretty much like crap until it's time to not treat you like crap.
They had some interesting camera shots on Isaiah there. And like Arthur was talking there.
Isaiah might be a little more muscle coming out.
Might
Well, they
leveling
showed
up.
They showed that the last episode with the musician.
You can smile. You don't smile.
It's fantastic.
The man we're about to meet is the Minister for the Duchy of Lancaster, is also Deputy to the Chancellor of the Exchequer, and Cabinet Advisor to the Prime Minister of Great Britain. You both met bad men before. The man we're about to meet is the devil.
Pumping them up to be some pretty bad dudes.
Send him in.
Dude.
especially considering the
even Thomas
antagonists
is
we
like-
already had.
I like how they did the shots on Arthur and Michael there, looking at him
Be
like that.
concerned.
Because even
Yeah.
Tommy is not like calm, cool, collected. He is.
Oh, this is
I never seem to get to meet you without your family.
Well, we don't shake hands or exchange pleasantries.
May I take a cigarette?
Please.
Sorry.
A nightclub in Detroit called the Gladiator is your regular? You lost the money and found a wife there. And poor old Arthur Shelby, standing there at the window, is afraid his wife will never return.
easy.
Mr. Shelby, I do have plans. I will have need of men like you, except, of course, there is no other man like you. You, in particular, I need. But please, don't imagine I would trouble myself with turf wars. You have many enemies. Shuffle the pack and pick another card.
Try again.
That investigation of the dead journalist, that made that go away. Read it and come back to me. Next time, bring only an open mind and a cigar to celebrate our union.
Speaks pretty confident.
Right on
Just
the floor.
I thought it was going to be on the desk.
On the rug.
floor.
Right on his rug.
Who the f are these people?
What can't I? I've just been invited to become the deputy leader of a brand new political party. These people say they are the future.
Oh, boy. I hope that was a lie, but I don't think it was.
To divorce a Shelby man, you have to go to a solicitor in London. I found one. He said he'd represent me, but I put the phone down. Not through fear. I chose this life. It didn't choose me.
Also, Lizzie, one of the friends is a man. He listens to me when I talk.
Oh, he was right.
Nothing has happened.
Nor will it. He would die without his eyes.
Oh,
Out of kindness, Tommy would offer his daughter a place in one of his institutions for orphan girls, or even take her into the family. It would begin again.
Okay, so
What is the thing, Linda?
the line didn't get crossed
The thing
fully.
you can't put aside.
That dude's not in a good spot right now.
No.
It's who I am when he's there. God is every filthy word, and my head knows every dirty thing.
And your friends don't use filthy words?
If I fall this time, I'll fall all the way.
Perhaps it's what you deserve with your filthy words.
Lizzie.
I used to walk 7 men a day, and now I'm learning how to ride a horse-side saddle.
Perspective.
And that's Arthur and you and me.
You don't get what you deserve, you get what you take.
Look at Lizzie.
He's making up his mind.
That conversation was very interesting.
Someone called Polly Gray to see you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Could hear you coming, Aunt Paul.
I did like how they had her wear those heels.
But if they had told me that baby had died inside of me, I would have wanted someone with me.
My husband may do as he's told, but I don't.
Look, if they hear a heartbeat, you won't need anybody with you, because you'll have the baby with you. So I will leave you alone. If you get in a taxi in this city and they hear your accent, they'll take you on a grand tour.
I mean,
It's
true. Been there.
They wouldn't dare do that to Furiosa.
This is really not fair. Your mother never told me you were this good.
I'm in a club. I'm champion. I'll beat people even older than you.
Carl, these days there are some very stupid people saying some very stupid things, okay? What do you think?
Checkmate. I think I don't want you to be my dad, because my dad's white, and he's in heaven.
Oh.
Jesus. Well, there's some symbolism for what Tommy was talking about earlier.
Yep.
And obviously for that conversation. Jeez.
Oh, she got him out.
I came to see you in hospital to tell you there's a strategy in place, not to break you out.
Don't worry, my sister will look after me.
You must stay here. And you'll let Tommy deal with the men who killed your son.
That's easier said than done.
Yep. Especially for a dude like him.
That's all he has, you know?
I've dealt death. Now death has dealt with me. I have one more killing to do, and I'll be done. Happy birthday, Polly Gray.
Urja.
Well, she did her job.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to stop Mr. Gold from what he wants to do.
But he's got one more job than Tahiti.
Get a car and a driver. Find out where the Fury family are camped. I need that man to help me. I need my hunting rifle, 50 bullets. Going to Scotland tonight.
Whoa! Right now.
Yep, he's not wasting any time.
Well, I hope he's right-handed.
Well, even with the hunting
with that shoulder.
Either way, he's got to hold up the stock end.
Party time.
Any business I have with you, Mr. Shelby, is meant to be strictly confidential.
Michael, you still have shit on your shoes. My associate here can evidently smell it. Well, I'm an ice cream. Eh? A man doesn't trust you.
You know, Gina found.
Look at Arthur.
Baby's heart's beating strong. But I swear to God, Tom, by the time that baby draws its first breath, you and I will be done.
And you will be king. Is that it, Michael?
Coming for my throne.
You know, Tom, there are doctors in London now can talk their way into your head, dig out all the shit. Perhaps you should see one.
He's got that cough.
Yeah, they're making a point of that.
The only reason why I started paying attention to that stuff is because of Walter White.
Well, I was thinking Red Dead.
Oh, yeah, you guys are playing Red Dead.
Dick.
Here. There's a letter from Maudsley. You should read it.
Vince Gilligan always has that in my head now. They just don't put that in there for nothing.
There's no proof of sedition in this letter.
You work in intelligence, younger. You don't need proof. Give it to your superiors.
I had no intention of joining a family.
Oh, thank that, good sir. You'd hate our weddings.
Forget about weddings. You know what Maudsley represents. You know his philosophy. I'm planning to reply to him and tell him that I'm making up my mind. But in the meantime, you need to give me instruction. I could fight him on my own if I have to. Or I could join his organisation and undermine him on behalf of the king. But you need to make a decision.
Just
Are you
the
in
impact.
or are you out?
Younger, the impact just from him now.
I suppose
for
there are a
him.
few things I can do on my own initiative.
There we go. Somebody else
Man.
that is
And we're pulling up to Wayne Manor.
somebody else that owes Tommy.
On your feet.
What?
Hello, Tom.
What's Johnny Dogs doing in there naked?
Hello, Johnny. How are you?
Is it with
Hey,
Francis?
how are your ribs? You managing? Just about, Tom. Yeah, good. And who's that?
Yeah.
Is it Maisie or is it Clara? Ah, Sandra.
Oh,
Okay, I didn't think so.
Your
but
breakfasts are a great improvement.
Mr. Shelby, sorry.
Don't worry, Sandra. The only way to get fired from this household is through burnt toast. We're talking to the police.
or talking to the police.
And Sandra, everything Johnny said is lies.
Yeah.
He said Albarama wants you to know that he's gone to Scotland to deal with his business himself, and that you know what that meant.
Well, nobody listens to me.
She helped him.
not really.
It can't be love,
Tom.
because it's Polly. All right, Johnny, I have a job for you.
Tom, I'm not a pain.
Not anymore, you're not.
Oh, you could just manage to sit in a car with Arthur and follow the pattern to find the Fury family. Arthur will take care of everything that requires bones and muscles.
I warned you, Tom. The goals will be the death of one of us. It looks like it's going to be...
What a callback to season 4 that was.
Yeah.
So, you heard the baby's heartbeat today.
Probably not ultrasound photos in this time, huh?
I wish I felt that heartbeat today.
You're starting to sound a little sorry for yourself. I'm an American. We don't just go round and round and round. We go in a straight line. And my baby will be born in New York.
New York.
Trying to have this stiff line with Aunt Polly, I wouldn't recommend.
Gina's...
I'm not happy about moving this meeting into licensed premises.
Hey.
We're looking for popular speakers for our upcoming rally. You're making quite a name for yourself in the Commons.
Betsy, what are you drinking?
He's hammered.
Bottle of champagne. That's it.
You'll drink it on your own.
That's the idea.
Oh, boy.
You see him like good?
Yeah.
Needs the training wheels.
Jeez.
Again, I'm still bad for 5 seasons in. I don't know how they got anything done. Not as much alcohol as they consume.
Oh,
Pollution.
I want you to speak against it.
In answer to your question, I cannot address your rally because it's not part of the current strategy.
Are you okay, Thomas?
Oh, pretty far from it.
I knew we should not have had this meeting on licensed premises.
that didn't go so well.
Nope. Nope.
Happy or sad, Thomas?
Grace. There she is. It's Grace. He's never alone.
I warn you. I'll break your heart.
Oh, what a transition. He's got TB. I'm calling it right now.
Francis said Linda was here today.
Frances has a very specific loyalty, doesn't she?
Well, I thought she was the only maid.
You don't nobody else in my house, nor within a day of holding our child by the hand a day on either side. Do you let me in sometimes into your head?
To clear it out. Albert needs clearing out.
Well, I'm glad we hashed that out.
Dear Liz, you belong to me. No one touches my property.
I'll call this number back Again, again, and again. You don't answer. I'll jump in mine. I'll drive to your house, you know I will. Stay there all night if I have to. I won't go nowhere. Not Scotland. Till you tell me what it is you know.
Well, you know, Tom. This is kind of fair, though.
Yeah.
But she's with the Quakers in Bourneville. Apparently, there is someone who was a friend. He had a wife who died from Spanish flu in 1918. He has a daughter. That should be enough to find him. Just talk to him and get a message to Linda. Nothing happened, Arthur. He's a Quaker who was a friend and not like us. They talk.
I'll go up north. Deal with our business. I promise you.
Arthur, listen to me.
Dude, he's been on edge.
Oh, you trust Arthur to go have a nice, friendly conversation with this guy?
Man, not if he's having race day all the way.
Man to man.
Man to man?
Yeah, Arthur will be.
Not
I'm
gonna
sure
go
Arthur
well.
will make rational, calm decisions.
I don't believe that Arthur is going to be screaming "I love you" solo anytime soon.
Who was it? Was it Arthur?
Yes.
I need me brother in one piece. Arthur makes his own decisions.
Hi, I'm Arthur.
Chair.
If you're her husband, she doesn't want to talk to you.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. I thought that. Oh, Jesus.
That's right, you. Well, how about we search for the f***ing truth within? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. See what we got inside here, eh?
Oh my God, Arthur.
Oh,
Arthur.
Oh. I thought that was his leg at first. He was jumping.
Well. Oh.
How can life become her point of view?
God damn it, Arthur. No.
Watch the fullness of her breath.
Well, looks like he's still alive.
I'll show again. Hey. I'll show you kindness. Listen.
Listen.
There is some.
Uh-oh. He's got the hat.
Just like it's just like Lizzie said. Everything Lizzie said is happening.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He's done. Jesus.
I'm a good man. I'm a good man like you.
No, you're not.
Oh, wow. Holy
There is blood in my arm.
Arthur coming to terms with what he is.
Is she in Scotland? Is that why you're going? No, she's not in Scotland, John. Whiskey. We want whiskey. Maps. Cigars. Load the van, we want it all. Who's we? Me and Johnny Dogs.
Oh, these two? Well, at least Johnny's going to be able to keep.
You know, at the BSA, our friends could get you some of them new artillery cannons that fire 10 shells a second. You can mount one on the roof of your car.
We need petrol. It's so far up north, they run out of the bloody stuff.
Girly Arthur is going to Scotland, so he needs hand grenades.
How many?
Sake, it's like it's normal. Find a way of getting her back, Arthur. Without her, you're as good as dead already.
Yeah, I think any chance of getting her back just went out the window.
Yep.
Oh, it's lying on the floor.
I mean, even from the legal side, that's a lot to.
Always got Glasgow.
Drew McIntyre.
That's them, the Billy Boys.
Oh, these guys.
Oh,
there's gold.
Your gypsies can easily steal an hour.
I have the keys to the truck.
Oh, he recognizes them. They're going to tar these guys, aren't they?
They're going to do something nasty.
They're going to do something bad.
Oh,
shit, here we go.
We're in it.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. We're going to see something real bad.
Yeah, these guys are getting worked.
They're going to get more worse than work. They're going to get tarred. That's not a coincidence.
Oh, they give us so.
And when the time comes for his crucifixion, it will be me
who drives in the nails.
There's that bucket.
There's the bucket. Oh, no.
Where's it going, on his face?
100%.
Hand.
It is.
Oh! Oh! That's what you get messing with Mr. Gold. Serves you right.
Did you bring that cigar?
Before we smoke, I have some conditions.
It really isn't going to be that kind of relationship.
Oh.
Just smoke like the fine man you will become.
Not that kind of relationship.
Right now, Tommy's thinking, what the?
I have an allocated confidential line, Code 78. It's me. I've agreed to work with our friend. He's going to announce on January 1st. I need to know that my position as informant against him is officially sanctioned.
Assuming that's a yes.
We are avenging an unprovoked attack
Well, they got the.
on members of our organization. Our enemies are gypsies, members of a race destined for natural eradication anyway.
Morning, Mr. Gold. The Billy boys are coming for you.
How did you find me? How the did they find me?
I can't have let it slip. If you know it's your side. What? What?
Oh,
I kind of let it slip.
Oh. The Bentley outside. The engine running. Fastest engine in the world, apparently, which is good. We got 2 minutes to get out of here.
What the f is going on?
Well,
Love it. Well, because
he's got 3 grenades. He better use them wisely.
Yeah.
How do they know? Kind of let it slip.
We are officers of the East Lanarkshire Special Constabulary. We are seeking a man by the name of Aberama Gold. Hand the gentleman over, and no one else will be harmed.
No, there's nobody there. This is an ambush. Let's go. Or maybe not. Maybe they.
Yeah, they only got Habanero. That's all they took.
3 hand grenades.
He sees something.
Yeah, should have grabbed one of those machine guns that fire 10 rounds a second.
Yeah, the second that they pull that door open. Boom. Yep.
Well, shit.
Take cover!
Delayed.
Yeah, a little too long on that delay.
A little too long.
And he loves the chaos.
So, Tommy Shelby, it's war you want. It's war you shall have.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at that. His eyes.
Somebody else with the fire in their eyes.
And exactly what he wanted.
It's like Aunt
just
Paul
wants
had
it
that.
pure chaos.
Nope.
And the chaos. Packed episode.
Yeah, this was awesome. I know some folks said that, in the comments or whatever, that episode 5 wasn't their favorite, but I gotta season 5. Season 5 wasn't their favorite, but I gotta be honest, the way this thing is kicking off, the stakes are so high. The villains, again, I'm gonna make the video game comparison. The villains are so leveled up, and Tommy is just on the edge, barely holding it together with everything that's going on with him. It is just wild. I mean, somebody else who's after war again with Tommy, and it's just he just can't escape this life. We all kind of thought at the end of season 4, oh, he's going to be in the government now. I'm sure things will be much easier there. Yeah, right. The enemies are they're just leveled up, and Tommy's playing a real dangerous game, playing informant with somebody who knows everything about every member of his family, even Michael, who hasn't even been in the country for an extended period of time. They knew everything about him. And when you see Tommy genuinely concerned about having dealings with somebody, you know it's got to be bad. So, look, Tommy's business life is just total chaos right now. His personal life is total chaos right now. And that pretty much goes for every member of the Shelby family. Aunt Paul seems to actually have come to peace with it. She seems to be the only one who's accepted where things are. And I felt that in the conversation that she had with Gina, pretty much told her, yeah, this is something you can't run from no matter where you go. I got the impression that folks have tried before and it never quite works out, but just an absolutely awesome episode. I can't wait to see the Billy boys get their comeuppance. I did expect maybe they would actually have some casualties there rolling up to the camp like that at the end. You said Oak the grenade had quite a long delay on it, so they had time to get away. But I didn't know what kind of ambush we were expecting, but I think that was more obviously just a diversion for Arthur and Gold to get out of there because they were coming. They knew they didn't have a chance to take them on right then and there, given the numbers. So again, create a diversion, get away, live to fight and regroup and possibly level up before you try to take on the Billy Boys. But yeah, just a fantastic episode. I mean, everything with Lizzie and Linda and everything they're going through. Arthur completely off the rails again. Reminds me of some earlier seasons of Arthur. Just takes a guy out, tries to convince himself that he's good, but look, Arthur, you got to come to grips with who you are. And maybe that's what happens this episode. I feel like Arthur's on borrowed time right now at this point with the way he's going at everything. This is just wild.
Yeah, to piggyback on Arthur, he's been doing the same things the past 3 seasons. You figure that it would eventually catch up with him between the race day, all the alcohol. He doesn't necessarily smoke as much, or at least they don't show it as much as Arthur, which Tommy, sorry, as much cough. As Tommy does. You've been pointing out the cough, and
he's got TB.
Stop!
For sure.
Shut your mouth.
He's got the Arthur Morgan.
I mean, he's gonna have something eventually. You would assume, but yeah, this episode was really good to me. As far as with Gold, Abernera Gold going to Scotland and making sure that he has a plan, because the Billy Boys, when they raided his camp, he wasn't really prepared. They dropped their pieces and then they took out his son. And what's the worst thing you can do to a father and take out their son, especially right in front of him? So now you have him who wants to get all his revenge, and he almost, got. I mean, I think partially Arthur let it slip out, but also he was there to save him. And then causing that explosion and showing that they weren't going to be ambushed, getting everybody out of there. I think that sent a message, though, to the Billy Boys that it was going to be that, because then he said, Tommy, you want a war? We'll give you one. Well, it wasn't. Tommy didn't want that. He wanted Gold out of there till we deal with him properly. Now it's obviously the Billy Boys are going to be coming for them in where Arthur and Tommy are, and then even Gold, and he needs to get even more rested up, but he was still able to hold his own against them. Then he had no interaction between Arthur and Linda where she had the interesting conversation with Lizzie, where what was it called that they could go meet?
A representative, I think it was, or a register,
a solicitor. So basically get a divorce, but then as we found out throughout the episode, you do not get divorced from the Shelbys. And as we saw, Lizzie had her conditions as to how things would be from now on. And
Tommy owns
everything. Like you said, the ego is back in full force. And now that they've got Younger on board again to become an informant, on which he basically said, this is the devil. It's like how he said we've been amping up the enemy each season. Now it's the devil. So this is really intriguing. How do they go about this? Because this isn't just on unlawful businesses, so to speak. This is the government now, and he wants to start his own party. So, like, they're really amping up the stakes in this one. What a really good episode.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for more of this season.
Yeah, that opener was hot.
Oh, very. One of the
Yeah,
best
I want
openers.
to. It's interesting. Throughout the course of this series, and especially last season where we had, the battle between Luca and Tommy. They talked about a code, right?
Mhm.
And I think with everything that Tommy's had his hands in over the course of the last, the last 5 seasons. It's been some muddy stuff, but he does still have a moral code, and I think that opening scene showed that, hey, just because of what I do, I still have my moral code, and especially when it comes to children. So, I don't know if this was the writer saying, hey, we're going to recognize some of the transgressions of the church in the early 1900s, or I don't need to go into that too much, but in any regard, I think it was, I think it was just representative of for everything that Tommy has going on and all his own sins. He still does have a moral code, but that was an intense scene that they opened with, and this entire episode. This is another one for me that felt like it could have been 2 hours long. I mean, we had that. We had, of course. Trying to recruit him for the fascist party, talking about having met with Mussolini. Of course, this is the 20s. We're not that far removed from, the takeover of fascism in Europe. I shouldn't say in Europe. Well, yeah, in Europe. Not that much after this time frame. But it's a very heavy subject matter that they addressed here. So we had that. Of course, we have Abraham Gold wanting revenge for his son, as any father would, but as powerful and as ruthless as any adversary we've seen so far in this entire series has been, it seems like the Billy Boys are right up there at the top of that list. Abraham went and he went in hard with the tar, and so there's that going on. Then the scene with Lily and Linda was really powerful when she had said, "You're going to make him an orphan, and he is going to die without his eyes."
Yeah, Lizzie said it.
Or it's not Lily,
Yeah,
Lizzie, excuse
Lizzie.
me. You feel the dude really wasn't doing anything, right? Like, they said nothing happened. He was just being friendly.
He was innocent.
He was pretty innocent there. And Arthur did what Lizzie said he was going to do, and that was a brutal scene. And then especially Arthur's kind of breakdown at the end. Again, some very, very heavy subject matter that we had throughout the course of this particular episode, and it felt like, again, it could have been so much longer, and they could have explored different subject matter. And that's not to say that I didn't like it or I felt things were cut short. It's quite the contrary. It's just to praise how good they are at keeping you, really, really invested in the show with multiple storylines. They all feel like they have meaning. Nothing feels like it's skimmed over. And again, just another phenomenal episode. And I got to agree with Mason Quinn. I know some people said this season wasn't necessarily their favorite, and I'm wondering if it's like, looking back on it, like, are we waiting for some huge bombshell at the end of season 5 that's going to leave us a little bit broken?
Maybe that's why they didn't like it.
Yeah.
Well, some folks did specifically say it's because they took a political route, which we clearly see is what they're doing.
Yeah. Look, we had,
but more so than other
had
seasons.
Ada
They had
and
sprinkled
Freddie's-
it in, but this one's like hard.
We had Ada and
into that
Freddie's
territory.
son doing the chess, which we saw. So they're not shying away from some very serious subject matter that was taking place in that time frame.
Yeah, I think that's the point. If that's what was happening in that time frame, that's what you would have your characters doing.
Of course, season 1, it was the racehorses, right? It was like, oh, it's gambling and stuff is going on, and then you go into these these other seasons, and even the last one, with Luca, the Italian or mafia versus the Peaky Blinders, and And, the subject matter, for the most part, while it may be loosely representative of things that were going on at the time, it wasn't stuff that really made you sit back and realize, like, okay, there was despite everything going on in this, quasi, factual / fictional world, there was still some very heavy stuff going on at that time. And I agree with you 100%. If you're going to set a show during this time frame,
you can't just ignore the communism, the socialism, the fascism that was all whipped up in that area around that time.
Yeah, and I get people think maybe, hey, look, after season 4, find some sort of new adversary that is, in the, the underground criminal world they can battle and nobody's going to feel bad, or maybe the police in regards to criminal activity. But yeah, they're going a little bit political. I should say a lot political with it, and touching on some heavy subject matter. But I'm not watching season 5 and thinking that we have any less quality than we got in previous seasons.
Yeah, no, I thought this was a really strong episode. Again, with the way that Stephen Knight does this, in my eyes, is it's loaded each episode. I mean, so much has happened here, from the opening on those sensitive topics to, Younger and the kid on that sensitive topic.
Yeah.
Carl, the chess master, basically, because he's in the club. All the way to basically Arthur. I mean, Arthur clear as day said that he's a good man, good heart, but the hands are the devil for the devil. So hearing him say that out loud makes just makes tons of sense. And obviously we've seen it. I personally, because I was just always hoping, and I know I said it a couple reactions ago, hoping that Arthur could get to a happy place. This episode just sealed the deal that I'm confident now that he will not get any kind of happiness. And it's just the way it is for the Peaky Blinders and the way that his life is. So I'm just going to accept that. But it does make for great TV, though. I will say that. For me, I'm very intrigued with the way that Arthur is, especially with the arc that we've seen with him since season 1 and his struggles with Tommy, his struggles with life, struggles with Linda. It's good to see that Linda, for the most part right now, has not crossed any big lines.
It was big enough to get the guy killed.
Well, even Tommy said he didn't do anything. They talk. They're not us. Mm-hmm. So Tommy made that pretty clear, right? That, hey, they're different. She just wants someone to talk to, and they can't talk to us. So if that was the guy, then and if it wasn't, either way, an innocent man just got brutally murdered by Arthur there. So again, I was hoping for a happy life, but not going to happen. Gold. Man, he stepped it up big time there. I thought for sure that guy was going to be toast with the way that tar fell on him.
That's right. I thought they were doing the whole head, on him.
I was surprised that he was. It went in his mouth. And so you figure once it got down there, you're
just because of the heat and the pain and yes, down the throat. I thought for sure it was Dunzo. I'm not saying that he couldn't survive, but I thought in that moment it was game over. So I'm kind of interested to see how much more we can get Gold getting some of these guys. And that dude at the end with the fire in the eyes, just smiling, loving the position that they're going to be in to take on the Shelbys and anyone else that wants to get involved. He's all about that. And they pretty much made that obvious in, an episode or 2 ago. So really looking forward to seeing how that's going to go. I thought Arthur was pretty funny there. Like, oh, he just kind of slept or whatever, how he said that.
Might have slipped.
I let it slip. And then them saying they have 2 minutes to go. So I'm wondering what kind of plan now they're going to come in play, because Tommy obviously didn't want Gold doing that.
Yep.
So really intrigued by that. The Polly and Gina conversation. It's real intriguing every single time Gina and Paulie kind of have a one-on-one, because I feel like those kind of conversations are always pushing Paulie a little bit. That's how I feel. I feel like Gina's just, hey, fuck you, I'm not going to take your shit, kind of thing, right? And I feel like Aunt Paulie is kind of the same way. It's my son. That's my grandson. Almost kind of like a show that we've seen before with SOA. So that whole, and I'm not saying she's Gemma. I'm just saying there's certain situations in there where you just, with the characters. So I'm really intrigued also on that with how Paul is going to be. Will she accept that Michael and her are going to New York, almost with or without her? And I thought for sure the option was Gina was going to say, hey, Michael wanted to come with, but I don't. You stay here. My parents, his grandparents will be just fine over there. You just stay here, kind of thing. We'll visit you on the holidays, kind of thing. I thought that's what was going to kind of come out of Gina's mouth, but that didn't. So that still leaves the door open for Aunt Polly to maybe make some choices. But Aunt Polly kind of made it obvious there that her roots are set here. She's not going to be living in New York by any means.
Well, did you get the vibe that Gina was kind of almost trying to like big timer a little bit?
By
giving her the statue and be like, hey,
from New York.
This is where freedom's at. This is New York. This is America. You got your little problems over here in England, but we've got the real deal.
we go straight, right? Yep. So that was interesting too. Yeah, it was kind of like big time in a little bit, and I think that was because one of her lifestyle, two, age, right? Mm-hmm. I think age had a pretty big hand in that. And then swinging into Michael and Tommy's conversation there at the end where he basically said, F you, Tommy.
That was heavy.
Yep.
Hey.
You want the throne. They all want the throne.
They all want the throne. I still feel, I don't know how that's going to...
It looks so easy until they have to do it.
Yeah, I don't know how that relationship's going to get repaired right now. Because to me, it's still... He said, I believe you, but there's clearly no trust there. I don't care how else
I feel
they
like
say that.
Michael's almost got to come through with something
big,
massive, like something really big, like a big moment where it's like, hey, you know what? Through all the bullshit, I still had your back. Where Tommy's also like, you know what? We're solid again. I don't know.
But after losing all that money,
I don't know what that's gonna look like.
Yeah, after losing all that money, I don't know. And
that's
then
what I'm saying. It's got to be something big where it's like, hey, you know what? We'll forget about the money loss because something happened that's bigger than that.
Yeah, and then of course Lizzie with her conversation with Tommy being a little liquored up. I mean, that whole relationship has always been interesting from day one, and then with Tommy being basically an informant now.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how that's going to turn out. And again, I know some folks said they didn't like it because they went real hard into the politics season here, but I guess right now in this moment, and I'm going to have to look at some of your comments after this, if you made it this far, is I don't know where else they would go without it being stale. All right, now we got to swing into politics.
Well, right.
We already kind of covered a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Amount. I'm sure there's still meat on the bone on some of their areas, but I feel like for them to really we can get a little bit darker and deeper in politics.
Well, right. That's to bring up your point, Oak, of, if they just do another baddie from the underworld, another mafia or another gangster or somebody who's even more brutal. Like, okay, it's been 4 seasons. We've kind of seen that. I felt they needed to go into the government level because of, look, it's the 1930s. Things are getting ready to pop off. All these things are in place to happen for World War II. It only makes sense that Tommy would be involved in some way.
I think a story at some point has to progress past just who's the next bad guy, who's the next adversary, who's the next adversary.
What's the next gang trying to come in?
I get the nature of this. Yeah, and I get the nature of this show. That's what it is, right? We're dealing with the Peaky Blinders.
And let's not forget to add on to you real quick. They do a season and then cover everything in that, and then we got basically a huge time jump or some kind of time jump. So everything's focused in that season.
Yeah, I mean, so I think this season for me, at least the first 3 episodes, is every bit as good as any previous season. Just different subject matter, but as far as character development, writing. Inter-family conflict. I mean, that's one thing that's been huge throughout every single season also, is just inter-family conflict. It's not just them against somebody else. And we're seeing massive conflict between him and Michael. Obviously, Arthur's got his issues. There's going to be...
we always will with this kind of lifestyle with every family member involved.
Yep, it's never clean.
Yeah, they always have something going on.
I'm wondering if...
easily go the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if, some of people's criticisms of this, there are people who have commented and said, look, the show Peaky Blinders are based off of the real Peaky Blinders But the things that they were involved with were like a little bit lower level, gangster criminal level stuff. That's what people have said, and that some of the big time stuff apparently is where they started going off in a fictional direction that doesn't really represent the Peaky Blinders of the 1900s. And so look, that's a fair criticism. If you're going to say like, hey,
Netflix said we need more.
The lower I don't want to say lower level, but the underground criminal stuff, from what people have said, is more representative of what they did, and maybe that's where the gripe is. Like, hey, that's like they never really got to the government level. Let's just keep it for what it was: the races and the gambling and the alcohol and stuff like that. So maybe that's a criticism, in which case would be fair. But look, for me, it's it's a quasi, factual, quasi-fictional story, and so if they're gonna, take the liberties with what actually happened, I'm okay with that in the interest of entertainment.
Yeah, and the only other thing that really piqued my interest in this episode, amongst everything else they had in here, was the number of camera shots they had on Isaiah. That they gave. I think that was just for they gave him a little something. Like Tommy made a comment. Tommy, yeah. Well, we're dealing with them too. Tommy made a comment, and they held it on Isaiah. He had something to say, and because we didn't have Finn really in this episode.
No,
I found it
giving
interesting.
the flowers to Polly.
I just wonder if they're going to level him up as
That's what I'm wondering too.
Enforcer.
They don't do something for no reason. Everything.
I just think he could be the big enforcer.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh well, we will definitely find that out soon enough. This has been a great show so far. We cannot wait for more. Hopefully, y'all are enjoying it as much as we are. So for Appleton Oak, Diamond Dave, that's Mason Quinn. I'm of course Answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals.